Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to yet another replay cast from BaseTradeTV, subsidiary of Map Control Co. I'm Ord, that's ITSORD, and with me capturing the video, that is Riffa Kings. This replay that we have for you takes place on Newkirk Precinct, starting in the lower left-hand corner, hailing from Millennium via South Korea. It is ForGG.
And in a very plain accent, without a lot of flair and accent excitement, I introduce the Red Zerg player, Snute, playing for Liquid.
Oh, I totally forgot to mention that he was in the blue, didn't I?
Who cares? I'm pretty sure people looking at this right now are like, oh, well, if he didn't say he was blue, I don't know what color he is.
Hey, some people are colorblind.
I guess. Alright guys, for those who don't know, 4GG's playing blue. There you go. Done. Now, I'm going to throw out here, it's Newkirk Precinct, so we may be in store for a really long game. I don't actually know. We're hiding the replay timer from me as well. That's the beauty of replay broadcasting. You get to be surprised alongside with the people who are watching with you. So, I gotta say though, like every time I've seen Zerg and Terran on this map board, it's like a 50-minute game.
Yeah, because it has the opportunity to be split map pretty easily. You can control
especially
ground
with
across that middle area.
Yeah, you got the two watchtowers covering both sides of the only way you can walk across the map, a huge air divide in the middle. It's, yeah, I don't know. Most TVZs, you sort of see evolve into the Mutilating Bane composition, but on this map it's a little harder to pull off because it's so force-choked.
Yeah, it does give the opportunity almost for that Wings of Liberty composition. You see a lot of times where there's just Corruptor Broodlord assailing just from this open gap at the bottom. So you see missile turrets, sensor towers, and once you see those, you know you're in for a long one.
Yeah, I gotta say, actually, the longest one I've seen most recently, Goody played against Slavic on ladder, and that was like an hour and like 40-minute game, and it came down to the point where both players had the map entirely mined out. I'm talking every gas, every mineral. It was ridiculous.
Fantastic. Was it still like maxed at that point too?
Oh yeah, it was like we had Spore Crawler walls down so that he could like Viper grip battle cruisers into them. Like it was pretty ridiculous.
That's fantastic.
Before GG, he doesn't play the same style that, you know, you see Happy, you see Goody players like that. They play these sort of, I don't know, safer, slower games, and they always win because of it. But 4GG is someone I gotta say, if I had to classify him as anything in the past, I'd say fast and loose. Not in the fact that he cheeses, and not in the fact that he's like stupidly aggressive, but he is someone who's gonna put pressure on. He's not gonna let you sit back and do nothing.
Agreed. I've been a fan of Finn since Brood War, and back then, and even in the early days of his transition into Wings of Liberty, he was very much a control-based player. Like, he wanted to be aggressive so he could control what his opponent was going to do. But so far in Heart of the Swarm, I haven't seen him work out really any of those builds necessarily. I'm sure he wants to go back to that style, but thus far, like, yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you, Riff. Like, he just kind of goes at you.
Well, Snute, we've seen him in the past as well. I mean, we spoke about it before. Some great tournament results of late. He's just been playing really strong, and like I say, he's one of those. A lot of tournaments, like whether it's the weekly events, whether it's the big time things, we're not seeing a lot of Zergs make it through. A lot of Terrans, a lot of Protoss seem to be in the finals now. But Snute, he's still playing very strong, and if he can still compete in the finals for big events and even win some, then you got to know, like, whether you're 4GG, whether you're any named person on the ladder, you got to be a little worried. They're like, oh, okay, I got Snute. He's a big name now. This isn't going to be a walkover by any means.
True, and this game that we're actually watching right now came after I-48, where 4GG lost to Snute.
Oh.
Snute eventually went on to win overall, so a little bit of maybe redemption, hopefully, for 4GG, at least if you're a 4GG fan, which I'm totally not suggesting that I might be.
Yeah, dude, when I got back into StarCraft 2, I was watching 4GG and Dragon back when they were both on Twitch. I'm really upset that he streams on Dailymotion. I understand why he does. It makes sense because of the team he's on, but I don't like Dailymotion streaming, so I haven't got to watch 4GG for a while. But man, this guy and Dragon combined, they made me fall in love with Terran, and they brought me back to StarCraft 2. And a Banshee opener, this is as classic as it gets, Ord. I thought we were...
Cloak!
I was sitting here thinking, like, we're going to have Widowmine drops. What a, you know, typical thing for a Terran to do. But Hellion Banshee opening, it's classic, it's tried, and it's true. So this could still work out very nicely for him, but he's got to be careful because two Hellions do not contend well with this many speedlings.
Look at those supply depot skins, though. Oh,
I
my
hate
goodness.
I hate the Supply Depot skin. I've talked about this so many times. I absolutely hate it. Like I was describing to Doom, I feel that they just attached a bunch of magnets onto a Supply Depot, and whatever stuck was what they made the new skin.
Oh, I can see them doing that, just like drunken sort of beer pong style, just like whatever sticks.
Oh
do
man,
it.
ForGG, he just missed the Zerglings running past his Hellions,
Yeah.
and he's got not a full wall at home, or this could get sticky very quick.
This one Marine, poor
doesn't-
fella.
He's got to come home right now. He doesn't even have a choke at his main ramp. He's going to lose so much to this.
Oh, and he can't
Immediately
even
canceling.
Yeah, he can't pull things. He's got the third that's still under construction. That's going to get canceled. The SUVs are just running straight towards their Hellion friends. Nice pull there by Snute. He's doing a lot of damage already. Might even manage to force a cancel. Yeah,
Yep.
it does on the third.
Well, Hellions do come here to save the day. They're going to clean this up, but not before ForGG loses a few more units. However, the Banshee is starting to go into the base. Cloak has been popped, but the Spore Crawler's coming down. He's got to pick off this Queen now.
Yeah, the other Queen actually kind of wandering by and not doing the trick.
Overseer. This Banshee can't take on the second Queen. Everyone knows a Banshee can take on one Queen, but not two.
Yeah, but the Hellions are coming back now, and that third base still has Zerglings 2 Queens now, which is a little better, but not
With
too
the
great
amount.
against the Hellion here.
Yeah, there's too many Hellions. The problem.
Oh, another Queen gonna get roasted here. Banshee manages to get 5 kills so far. Second Banshee's coming on in, and this
And
is rough
wow.
for Snute.
Yeah, he's going to lose everything in his main here. There's no question. Look at that first volley of the Hellions. So many drones getting roasted alive. And 4GG's
13 workers killed so far.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you got my base because I didn't have a wall up? Let me pay you back. Let me return the favor.
Oh, Snute wishes he had built an Evo chamber up there or anything at all. And now Queen's getting here. She was targeting down the wrong one, and so both Banshees managed to stay alive. Hellion Micro a little bit miscontrolled there as the target fire was going down, but still.
Okay, that Banshee does go down. Not enough energy to cloak. He's forced to run out, but look at the resources lost, Ord. Look at the workers killed. 4GG definitely paid him back in full with interest.
And that brings us right back to essentially a tied-up game, so it's almost as if neither attack ever happened.
Well, I wouldn't say that necessarily, because 4GG, what he just did, he severely delayed a lot of the income that Snute, I mean, he's got the Spire coming down, but we look at his bank, it doesn't exist. You know, it's kind of one of those things, like when your Spire goes down, you want to already not only have way more than enough Overlords, but more importantly, a lot of gas banked up. But because of all that damage that just got done in the main, we see, I mean, there's even 4 workers on one of the guys. Snoot's trying to recover from that, and his first round of Mutalisks is going to suffer because of this.
Yeah, but he's got all 6 of those extractors working overtime right now. There's only 1 Viking in production at a time. When this Spire pops, we're going to see at least 7 mutas come out here almost immediately.
4GG has to be
We're
expected
going to see
this too.
Zerglings. What?
I mean, when you reveal that you have that many Hellions on the field and Banshees, you have to know Mutalisk will be the response. There's no way anyone will send anything else to punish you.
Very true. And only 4 Mutalisks in production. I actually definitely expected there to be more.
Well,
Overlord
gas
here
count,
actually delaying the 3rd from finally getting down, but Snute is going to go ahead and take the 4th as we enter that kind of split screen scenario. Banshees coming back into the main of Snute towards the south.
Yeah, you should be able to take out this Queen, no problem with the double DPS of these Banshees, but it's that Mutalisk. One Mutalisk can kill both of these Banshees is the problem. 3 of them will definitely start sniping these off. Meanwhile, the creep spread from Snute is also starting to get a little bit out of control, Lord, as he's getting very close to the halfway point in the map.
He is in 4GG with actually a redirect that ended up making one of his poor little Banshees go down. Viking trying to support it, but can't find where the Mutalisks are, and we're going to have...
Yeah, lots of turrets coming down, but you can't rely on static defenses like this against Mutalisks. You have to have Woodomize. Thors are on the way, but they're so far out at this point. 4GG is going to clean up these Zerglings without any problem, though. He's got Hellbats combined with Hellions.
No anti-air in here at all, though.
Yeah, struggling to get some turrets up. Again, this is the problem. Not only are they late, but they're static. You can't move them. And these tanks, these Hellbats are in some trouble. Thor now on the field, but one Thor doesn't do a whole lot of damage versus this many Mutalisks.
Oh, and there's nothing there to repair. The Hellions try, but they realize they don't have that command. Some SCVs do arrive. Will they be in time to protect it? This Thor is desperately needed. And it's not enough at all.
And these Hellions, they don't know where to go. They need to take out the Zerglings, but they can't leave the safety of the base. Thor hammering away now at the rest of the Mutalisks. And the problem is, one Thor doesn't have that much damage attached to it, trying to run back to the turret. Really nice positional choice here out of ForGG, but he is just struggling here, or he's losing so many workers.
They're at 38 workers now. Actually, only still 57 from Snute, who still hasn't fully recovered from the attack earlier. Definitely probably wants more on 4 bases. And we do have a Banshee up towards the north that was doing some damage at the 3rd.
I'm curious about this. I'm not actually seeing any splash damage go off on these mutas from the Thors, so I'm wondering if changing to the high payload impact cannons or whatever they're called would be a little more beneficial, because I mean, that just was not working out for ForGG at all. Now he's got a force he's going to start moving across the field with, but it's 4 bases to barely 2. I mean, that's just the reality. Numbers kind of say where the economy's at, and when the Zerg player has this much economy, Ord,
yeah, it's definitely rough, but with the static defense now at least protecting at home, ForGG can poke out a little bit. He does have the 1/1/1 upgrades on the Thors, and we all know 3/3 horrors. Whoa!
Gaff 2013, man.
3/3 Thors.
Well, you know what? I gotta say, Snute probably views them as a little bit of what you said, on account of the fact that they do so much damage.
They get a lot of use in.
Oh, nice transfuse. Is gonna keep that queen alive. Hellbat's a little too slow to chase. Valiantly trying to, but look at the Banelings. 27 coming in. No speed on them, but these Hellbats are very susceptible to Banelings.
Everything just melts, and the Thors even may go down to Banelings, which is not something I'm used to seeing. Two of them are still alive.
Well, the thing is, by getting rid of all the Hellbats, now Zerglings are viable. Zerglings will flood and destroy everything on the ground. There's not enough anti-air. We see 28 Zerglings in production, and it's, quite frankly, the best response.
And I have no idea why ForGG is still across the map.
It's a situation where he was hurt so badly, he has to go do damage, right? Like, it's not, oh, I hope to just poke with this. It's, I gotta do a lot of damage or I lose the game. That's what it comes down to.
Broodlings and Zerglings combining their queens, overextending themselves a bit, finally do go down. More reinforcements arrive just a few moments too late to save those Thors.
ForGG again, though, without any anti-air in his army. Another command center coming down. He's got his 3rd established at this point. Checking the income. He's not looking too bad. But the reality is, he's definitely behind, and Mech, you know, you don't piecemeal in with Mech, you gotta go all at once, you gotta have that big, strong army that's unbreakable, and what he's done so far this game has been the opposite of that.
Agreed, he's been sending them forward in little tiny bats and groups like they're Marines that he can try to micro and do damage with, but it's a different composition. Well, there we go, Thor converting.
Yeah, the 250mm Punisher cannons, definitely a lot better, I think, for this particular situation. Because there's not a lot more Mutalisks on the field. There's only going to be 1 or 2 looking to clean up drops, but we got a lot of Roaches coming across. Same with these Zerglings. Now, luckily, Hellbats out-damage both of these units.
Yeah, and with the tanks in there, it's going to be really hard for Snute to find an angle to come in here now.
Oh, and we got Hellbats getting ready to drop here into the main. And the Viking has actually cleared a path. There's no Overlords here to spot this. That boost will land it right into the mineral line.
And Snute, I don't know what his reaction is going to be.
He's going to lose a lot of drones.
No matter what. Most of his force is staying forward. He's kind of ignoring it overall. He's just letting the reinforcements of Mutalisks come in to handle it.
Oh, I really wish you would have seen him, the amount of larvae sitting around this hatchery, or he could have killed so many larvae with those Hellbats. But instead trying to go for the queen. Not a terrible choice, mind you, but...
Yeah, it is a lot. 24 at that macro hatch there. That would have been a little devastating to Snute being able to reinforce. But as it is, he's still got a huge army out there.
31 Roaches are going to have a hard time breaking into these tanks, especially with the Hellbats covering, but these Zerglings, they could... Again, this wall's not complete. ForGG's got a lot of holes in his defense. Can Snute take advantage of that? Mutalisks now coming into the 4th base want-to-be position. Going to force a cancel here. Meanwhile, we have the Roaches coming in, Ord.
Oh, and coming in from all angles is Snute. He's actually doing a lot of damage to the south as the tanks are distracted to the north, but there's still going to be just so much DPS.
It's the Thors. The Thors are still alive. They're going to chase us off. The base at the 4th base location was canceled, luckily. And man, that Roach just did a backflip as it died. I love tank fire, the physics.
It is fantastic. And now these whores, are getting around as the SCVs take their turn with them.
Did he not have his northern base saturated? I know he's had this hatchery up for a very long time, but I'm only just now seeing it have drones attached, so...
He's basically done nothing with it for the entire game. He didn't even take the extractors until just now. He has been trying to go towards the south with some mutalisks.
ForGG, no! Yes. He's moving out just as the mutalisks move in, and this is really going to hurt because he's going to lose a lot of SCVs to that transfer. Vikings are okay, but we all know they don't do that much damage to mutas.
Snute trying to think that maybe I can take on 3 Vikings or 4 Vikings, and Thor's arriving and saying, no, those are my friends. Go away.
Now we have the transition to Greater Spire on the way for Snute. That's why he's going for that extra economy boost. He wants to get to that beautiful composition Broodlords. But I gotta say, Ord, in my experience as Terran on ladder, when you got Thors, you got Hellbats, Broodlords are really irrelevant. Hellbats clean up those Broodlings before they can really do any damage whatsoever.
This is true. And ForGG now using some scans to try and find out what he's going to be up against. Greater Spire is going to finish just as 8 Corruptors pop. So more than likely we will see those Broodlords come out. But I have to feel like they're more a supplemental thing, as a lot of Zerg forces that we've seen as of late have just been a smattering of every single Zerg unit. You got a little Zerglings, a few Roaches, a few Hydras. Corruptors, always, they're really important to Zerg success.
I do want to throw here too, Snute not is only going to have +3 melee attacks for the Broodlings, but he's going to have +3 air attacks for the Broodlords. So, I mean, both of these units are going to pack quite a punch.
This is true, and yeah, look at this split map scenario that you so accurately predicted. Now we do have ForGG pushing forward, and Snute is going to let him for a little bit. He's going to let him.
I'm a little worried for Snute. I mean, he's getting those Broodlords in now, but there's a very small amount of them. There are still a lot of Mutalisks, though, and with very little anti-air, this could just go ForGG's way. Here come the Broodlords, Ord. He's already in high impact payload mode, though, so he's going to start destroying these Broodlords. Vikings as well. ForGG trying to come in with the Mutalisks. But, I mean, these Broodlords are doing nothing. We look at the Hellbats clean up those Broodlings so quickly. A couple Corruptors, a couple Mutalisks are all that's left, and this could be it.
Very well could. Those Vikings did so quick work against the Broodlord. Scan going down for ForGG, who seems to be thinking, there has to be more out there. Where's the rest of the army I'm up against? But the DPS here, just too much. And GG for ForGG.